Let me start off this review by saying I wanted to like this game. I really wanted to like this game. In fact, I thought I would like this game. I'd watched multiple playthroughs on YouTube by some of my favourite YouTubers like Matt Shea and Ban, and I really thought it looked amazing and fun. Basically like a really fun time black hole that you could mess around with for hours. To those who don't know, Paint the Town Red is a voxel-based, arcade-style hack'em-slash'em game where you go rampaging around the chosen setting, painting the town red with people's blood. So, sounding pretty perfect so far, right? I know I mainly love games that have long stories, games that sweep you up in its storytelling until you get confused between real life and the immersion, but that doesn't mean I don't love little time-wasting games that are fun to play. I play many games like it, and so thought it would be a nice little extra into that niche of my Steam library when I got gifted it over my birthday. To be fair to Paint the Town Red, it took me a good half hour to 40 minutes of recording for me to figure out exactly what it was about the game that bothered me to the point where I really was not enjoying myself. Not even that, to the point where I was actually bored and I just wanted out. The first thing was the repetitiveness. The entire game is obviously very similar, but I just felt that there wasn't enough variation in the opponents or the gameplay which would have made consecutive playthroughs more enjoyable and fun. Every level is roughly the same size with a slightly different layout or texture style, the enemies and their difficulties were pretty similar, and the weapon variety was extremely lacking. This would be all fine if the game itself was innately fun, but it just isn't. It feels so much like YouTube bait, where watching faces explode in procedurally generated carnage is the height of the game, and if that's the height of the game, then I seriously don't understand its appeal to anyone who isn't playing it for views. Something that particularly bothered me is the lack of goals within the game. The only goal seemingly there is the fact you have to kill everyone and also not die. There's also no time limit, no stamina usage, no leaderboards, nothing that could bring another level of competitiveness to the game. The only thing within Paint the Town Red that you can save up for and use is some unexplained special abilities that you have to use to find out their effects. But again, these just seem to add to the, oh cool, look at the way his head is exploding, style of enjoyment, while also taking a lot of kills to save up for and only allowing an extra 5 kills or so. You could be thinking, maybe I find it too easy. That I breezed through easy levels and found it all very boring as there was no challenge. Well no, it was quite the opposite. The opponents themselves are more mighty than I assumed that they would be. Someone that can take 3 pool cues in the head and have a glass sticking out of their neck, and yet is still thirsty for your blood is pretty rare in my book, but not in this game. I had to fall back on working my way around the AI path tracking in order to glitch my way to victory, something that felt it was certainly going to happen, however it would be a trek to get there. And jumping from the bar roof to the landing over and over again in order to fight against a set of AI opponents who don't have half the skills you do and never seem to fight each other after you've taken their interest just isn't interesting enough for me to justify the price of this game. The thing that makes this more annoying for me to say is that the developers are amazing for this game. They listen to all the feedback they receive and put out an update far more often than most developers I've seen, especially to say this game is still in early access. Because of this, I waited a month or more after making this review to see if any of the updates addressed my worries, and although some of the updates have done this, I still feel incredibly bored playing Paint the Town Red. It's just a game I see in my Steam library and skip straight past. If the excellent developers continue increasing the quality of this game as they have been doing, I can see myself re-reviewing it in the future and raving about how good it is, but unfortunately for now, I stand by my comments. There are a few good points about the game that have come around since first writing this review, however. The prison level design is much better than the original 2, even if I still find the overall design a little dull in places. And the ratio of searching or planning your way around a level compared to the reward is very low indeed. Also, the recently released sandbox level is actually quite good. You get to spawn a variety of enemies and mess around with the future or special weapons as well as turn on cheats. I always find sandbox modes to be the most entertaining in this style of game, as you can mess around with your imagination and have a little more fun than in the predetermined levels. This sandbox mode definitely needs a few bugs ironing out, whether that be some coding bugs due to early access and the limited testing, or the workaround for particle lag by restricting the amount of enemies and weapons spawned until you restart the level, but overall, it's still really enjoyable. So that's my review. The game needs a lot of work in order for it to become something I want to play, with changes to its AI and difficulty leveling being a must in my book. If you're planning a Let's Play series, then this game will probably bring a lot of viewers. If it's a Let's Watch, then you're certainly going to have fun as a group. But Paint the Town Red is more of a spectator game than something actually enjoyable to play.